Hello, hello. Thank you. Hello, hello. How are you guys doing today? I hope none of you guys are being affected by the hurricane. It was supposed to hit Miami, but I guess it didn't. Or we got the remnants or the outside skirts of the hurricane, but I don't know. I was intending for it not to hit Miami. But if you guys are being affected, please stay safe. Hurricanes, I feel so like in Miami, I grew up having hurricanes every year. So to me, hurricanes, as severe as the whole world is taking them to be, for me, they're just like, they're very normal, kind of. Um, okay, so if you guys read the title, today I want to be talking about manifesting without validation. This has been a very hot topic as of lately. Almost every single call I've had in the last 2 weeks are people who can't stop looking at the 3D for validation when they're manifesting something. And this is a problem. This is an issue because you don't always want to rely on the 3D to know that you're going to get your desire. So, a lot of the times, at least mostly now, for me personally, I manifest by literally deciding something, and anything that's opposing my thoughts for the thing that I want in the 3D, I completely just ignore. And I saw this tweet yesterday about someone who's like, I hate being asked how I manifest because my answer is always I just decide. But honestly, literally, that's all you have to do is decide and not look for evidence in the 3D because you know now that you create everything and the 3D is just a blank wall. It's literally just like a projector screen. You're the projector, and out here is like the screen. So, why would I look for validation when the place that creates my dominant thoughts is my mind? Right? So this is just a blank canvas. This is just a blank screen. So it's important moving forward that you stop looking for validation or movement or signs, because the more you pay attention to these signs, the more signs you will continue to get. So you shifted out of you getting your desire to only having signs, and obviously you don't want that. If you got into manifestation, it's because you have a desire and you want it. You don't want the signs. You don't want little itty bitty pieces of the things that you're trying to get. You want your full manifestation. You don't want breadcrumbs. So stop looking out into the 3D for signs or validation, because that validation is something you give to yourself when you look internally, or when you look in your thoughts, when you visualize something, when you say something. That's validation enough. It's like what's a good example I can give for this? Mm, Let me think. I had one, but it was kind of inappropriate. Um, so you know when you go to like an upscale restaurant and there's like a chef in the kitchen, the chef has to, a lot of the times, because my dad used to work in a very upscale restaurant, and he said that the orders will come in through like a screen. So he would have to look at the orders through like the little touch screen thing that's in the kitchen or whatever. So when an order would come in, he wouldn't go outside of the restaurant. to ask for what it is that the people wanted. Why? Because everything was inside of the little iPad screen. It wouldn't have made sense for him to go outside of the restaurant to see what it is that people were ordering because the orders were on the screen, if that makes sense. So it's kind of like the same thing here in the 3D. It wouldn't make sense for you to look at outside of you because the screen is in your thoughts. The little iPad screen is in your mind. Out here is just the final product of whatever it is that you're concocting in your mind, in your thoughts, aka the kitchen. Out here is the end result. So you really wouldn't look out here for the thing that you're trying to manifest because it's like it's being created internally. It's being created within you. Does that make sense? Truly, honestly, I feel like 90% of people are plagued with the 3D not giving validation, and that is the thing that's slowing a lot of people down. It's just if you're finding that you think you're not going to get your desire because the 3D isn't showing you feedback, I feel like that comes from really not understanding how the law is working, and because of that, that's bringing up resistance. So this is remedied by having more information on how this process is working. The 3D is only showing and reflecting you. It's only reflecting the state that you are being or the state you are embodying. So if you are embodying the version of you that, let's say you're manifesting an SP, if you are embodying the version of you that has the SP, that gets consistent communication, that gets love, that gets prioritized, that gets pursued, that has to, as a byproduct, to be pushed out into the 3D. Just like Tiff says, this is an all-inclusive package. Once you have it in here, it has no other choice but to come out into the 3D. It's not an option. It's not a sometimes, it's not once in a while, it has to. It has no other option. This is an all-inclusive package. The moment you decide you have something or you start affirming for something and you see it, you can affirm it, you can visualize it within you, it has no other option but to show up out here. Give me one moment. Okay, I'm gonna start reading your questions. Oh, by the way, guys, I might have to cut this live short because I do have a meeting in like 35 minutes or so. But I think, never mind. I have to attend. Do you think robotically affirming eventually leads you to feeling relaxed and fulfilled? Sure, but I will say that doesn't work for everyone. So if it works for you, that's completely fine. However, that's not the case for every single person I've come into contact with. A lot of the times, for example, like me, I can't do robotic affirming because it gives me anxiety. Robotic affirming, like, I feel rushed. I feel like I'm being like rushed to do something or get something, and I don't like that feeling, so it doesn't work for me. However, some people that works amazingly, flawlessly in their lives. For me, that's not the case. So just because you hear a lot of these coaches give you methods to manifesting doesn't mean you have to take every single method. You just apply the one that you feel the most comfortable with. Because of you, I always seem to understand the essence of the manifestation, but there are some times when I know that I should just live at the end, but I feel terrible for some reason. I'm sad. Yeah, and that's okay. And when you're manifesting, this is a journey, this is a process. It's okay if you don't get it immediately or instantly. I had to work my way to where I'm at now. I've been manifesting for like since 2016, 2017. So I've been at this for a while. But I'm not kidding. The moment all this clicked for me, I was like, wow, all this could have literally been reduced to like two methods, and this would have been so much easier. The thing is, now people who are coming into manifesting right now, they have the luxury of having all these coaches on YouTube. They have all these people teaching them new ways to manifest, teaching them all sorts of things. You have group chats, you have Facebook pages, you have so much support now where a lot of people are getting this so much faster. Back then, I didn't have any of that, but I only had books. And I had to try a lot of things with my own experience. I had to do things by myself. So I've been at this a while, so it's fine if you can't get it immediately. But in essence, all you're wanting to do is simulate the version of you that has your desire. And you just act like that every day. So if you don't get a text from like an SP, for example, there's no reason for you to get upset or mad or angry because the version of you who has it is not doing that. The version of you is just going about their day, enjoying their life like normal, because that wouldn't even be a thought in your mind that them ignoring you is them not wanting to be with you. Do you understand what I'm saying? You want to simulate more dominantly the new version than the old version because there only exists two states: the version of you that has it and the version of you that doesn't. So when you're not doing the things that the version of you has, you're doing whatever it is that the version of you doesn't have, the thing that you want, and that's what's being reflected out here. Hello. What to do if little unimportant things don't show up and doubt is stronger, not faith? So the thing where you're going wrong is you're assigning meaning to you not seeing it just yet to it not showing up whatsoever. That's what you have to stop doing. Just because something hasn't materialized yet doesn't mean it's not happening. And I feel like people also go wrong where they associate feelings to you not getting what you want. I can feel bad all day, I can feel sad, but that does not equate to your manifestation happening or not happening. Sure, it's amazing when you feel confident. Sure, it's amazing when you feel happy. But just because you have those emotions does not mean you're going to get your desire much faster. If that makes sense, because your feelings don't manifest. This is the law of assumption. Your assumptions are what's manifesting. Your most dominant thoughts about the things in your life is what is manifesting, not your emotions. So for you, you said and doubt is stronger, not faith. I would say affirm and persist anyways. In the beginning, it's gonna feel kind of like, well, I don't feel like anything's happening. That's completely fine and that's normal. Just persist. It doesn't matter. Just literally persist. Keep going. Keep going. The more you do it, the easier it will feel for you to do longer periods of time, or for you to sustain that routine. How to deal with the feeling of I'm doing everything I can, but why nothing seems to change or improve? Yeah, so again, like the last person I gave advice to, you're assigning meaning to you not seeing your desire yet, to for it to mean that it's not gonna happen. And you guys need to stop doing that. You guys need to stop assigning, just because something is taking long doesn't mean it's not gonna happen. That's not, you need to get your mind out of that because that is what's manifesting. I always tell people all the time, if you're new to manifesting, there's no reason why you should be worrying about how long something is taking. You don't have the experience enough to be able to manifest things instantly. At least not yet. I'm not saying manifesting instantly is impossible for beginners, but in my experience, people who are just now coming into manifesting or aren't very new to it, it's like wanting to do tricks on a bike when you just learned how to ride a bike yesterday. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, when you're first doing this, don't worry about timing. Don't worry about how long something's taking or how fast something's taking. Just do the methods so these things can start moving forward and forget about like the timing and stuff like that. Because a lot of the times, when you're not worrying about time, that's when it happens the fastest. What was your path in manifestation? Um, you mean like how did I get started with manifestation? So for me, I've always been a very spiritual person at a very, very young age. Spirituality came first for me in the form of like spell work and witchcraft and a lot of the other esoteric things that people now are reading as a trend. So since I was 13, I've been reading up on mysticism and like, you know, culture of magic and stuff like that. Um, my family is like my mom's side is Dominican, and then my dad's side is Venezuelan. So I come from like a culture of people who like that is in our culture. That is growing up. That's what people did and like still do to this day, who grew up in those parts. So spirituality has always been in my life. It's just as I continue to develop my knowledge for spirituality, I came into contact with Neville and The Secret and the law, and then, yeah, here we are now. How to stay in the wish fulfilled when you are struggling in the 3D. We still have to deal with 3D circumstances, which make it very tough to be in the state of the wish fulfilled. So, my advice would be, and I know not everyone has the luxury of doing this, but just do it for as much as you can. Do so, handle your 3D enough for you to get by or for you to fix your situation, right? Because I feel like this is something people go wrong with also is if they have like for example a job where their coworker is being not so kind, they will leave the job instead of fixing the situation and then cause more resistance later on when bills start piling up, when other issues arise and start piling up because they did something in the 3D that caused them more resistance. So I would hate for something similar like that to happen to you. So in the 3D, when you're faced with 3D circumstances that you don't like, as much as people don't like to hear this, just handle the situation for you to get by. But in the meanwhile, just continue to persist. Continue to visualize, continue to use your affirmations because that eventually has to reflect back to your 3D. And for me, it was almost like a comfort knowing that the 3D has no other option to do it. It's not like it has to do it sometimes. It's not like it has to reflect once in a while. It's it's literally law. It has to happen. So my understanding was if I continue to roll out these new thoughts and roll out these new visualizations, more times than I can nag about my 3D, more times than I can complain to my friends, more times than I can gossip to family, then the outcome that I want that is happening in my mind will have to be pushed out. Oh, thank you. Can other people's assumptions manifest in your reality? No. For example, you're manifesting SP, but your best friend thinks, um, I don't think, I don't think anyone else should have that much power over your reality because you are God of your own reality, not anyone else. Your dominant thoughts are is what is creating everything outside of you. So do I think other people have power in your domain? Not to the extent that you do, I should say. Because the only reason why I'm saying not to the extent that you do is because, like, for example, me, I manifest for other people all the time, like family, right? It's family and like friends here and there. I manifest for friends and family sometimes. And the outcome that I want happens, but that's because they're in my reality and I want a result to happen. Their desire becomes my desire, so it shifts in their life. But let's say at any given moment they wanted to undo it or they wanted to change it, they most certainly have the power to do it, if that makes sense. I'm so tied up to the 3D circumstances. It's been a year. I'm manifesting for a reason, but since I feel lack surrounding money and resources, I wasn't able to manifest it. So one of the main things I want you to try is, what are some of your main assumptions with money? What are some of the most dominant things you think about money? And an exercise I have people do a lot of the times is write out all the circumstances and all the limiting beliefs you may have surrounding money, and make opposite affirmations going against those thoughts, those beliefs. You'll be saying those new affirmations every day for however long you want to do it. The most important part is that you start saying them, you start getting them into your mindset to make new neural pathways. That way, for when you start saying them, they'll be more believable each and every time. Secondly, I want you to start regulating your nervous system, which is something a lot of people don't do, and they spiral and they go out of control, and their thoughts are just like everywhere. So look into, things like EFT tapping or box breathing. Box breathing really helped me a lot, especially when I would be in anxious situations. Breathing really helps regulate your nervous system and calms you down a lot. So that way you're not associating a feeling with your desire happening or not happening. And then you're just gonna rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat. Train your brain to start seeing the outcome that you want, and eventually it will have to show up out here. Please give me some tips on living from the end state when manifesting my SP, apart from just living my life normally and not stressing about not having them. How would you live from the end states when manifesting your SP? The thing is, you would be living your life normally if you had them, right? But let's get into more specifics of someone who has their SP already. What are they naturally doing every day? Okay, so let's start from like when you first wake up. You don't get a text message from SP saying good morning. Would you really, really care? Let's say you guys were married. Would you really, really honestly care if they sent you a good morning text? If you knew that, let's say, for example, they were working or they were just busy in the morning. No, not really, because you see each other every single day. Would you really care that they're not looking at your Instagram stories? No, because you guys are together and you see him every single day. This is embodying the state of someone who has the desire. So you are manifesting, especially if you're reacting constantly to the 3D, from a state of someone who doesn't have the things that you want. Therefore, that is being reflected out here. Whoops. You have to think of this as like a whole big game of Simon Says. The 3D is only looking at you to tell it what to do next. So if you're reacting negatively because something is not happening, then you're embodying someone who doesn't have what you want. And the whole thing, like with stress and stuff with the 3D, that typically stems from you not having a lot of understanding about how the 3D is working. And one of the main things that gave me comfort is reading more about, like, the scientific side of manifesting. Someone who's amazing at giving results like that and scientific studies is Joe Dispenza. Read Joe Dispenza, see like the brain scan, see a lot of the studies that he does. Like, this is not make believe, this is not magic, this is not like something that's otherworldly. It's literally your thoughts are creating, your thoughts are things, and your subconscious is getting information from you. That's what all of your 3D is based off of. How to manifest in a short time, because I'm worried that I won't be able to go to school I want to go to. And as if my 3D says this. How to manifest in a short time, you step into the state of you having the thing that you have right now and going about your life as if it's already done. I don't know how else to put it. Like, the 3D is just a big mirror. It's like if I right now held up, like if you FaceTimed me and I held up a mirror to you. That's what it's doing. So if when you get in front of the mirror and you're screaming at the mirror to put on lipstick, the mirror is not going to change until you do it. Why would it change? Why would it be different? Why would it give you a different reflection? If you went somewhere and you bought a mirror and it was showing you something that was already a set reflection on the mirror, you would return it. You wouldn't want that. You would not even purchase a mirror that had like a painting on it. No, because the mirror is used to reflect what it's in front of it. Just keep using, or just keep in mind that the 3D is just a big fat mirror. That's all it is. It's only reflecting the things that you are assuming. It's only reflecting the things that you are most dominantly putting your focus on. Where attention grows, energy flows. Didn't see a video yet, but can you tell us your thought process on when you manifest 20K? Did you use any techniques? Um, yeah, so when I manifested 20,000, I literally just saw myself counting my visualization with money was 2 stacks of 10K. And that happened through like an investment thing that went well for me. I don't know, when it comes to money, I like visualizing it in cash now. I used to do it like by seeing my Chase app having the amount deposited in there, which honestly works for me too. It's just I've been having more fun seeing it in cash. So I just visualized momentarily, like 10 seconds, me counting 2 stacks of 10. So I'd be holding two big fat wads of cash, 10,000, 10,000 to make 20K. And yeah, that was it. That's literally all I did. And because I understood that my 4D is my real reality, your imagination is the real reality, I knew there was nothing else for me to do. Anything that I did in the 3D world was only a bridge of incidents that I took naturally to lead me to my desire. I didn't force anything to happen. I didn't call people to give me the money. I didn't borrow the money. I didn't look for the money every single day, because if I had the money, why would I be doing those things? If I had the money, why would I be looking out in the 3D for evidence? I have it. You have it. Why are you looking for it? You only embody 2 states. You have it or you don't. All the coaches are talking about, and Sammy posted. Wait, did I miss something? No need to say I use the state to manifest, because the state is a reality, not a technique. Because yeah, a states, I don't think it's a technique. States is not a technique. Just like how manifesting is not a technique. Manifesting is just thinking. I'm sorry, affirming is just thinking. Hmm. Are you talking about you wanting a guide on states? Clarify that for me, please. Bashar, I love Bashar. I love Bashar because in a crowd of a whole bunch of people, he will check you. It's the funniest thing ever. Bashar helped me a lot because he talks a lot about the nature of reality and how it is structured, and that cleared up a lot of things for me. Yeah, he's like amazing. To me, living in the end would mean I would completely forget about my desire, but a part of me is scared that my subconscious wouldn't know that's my desire because I forget about it. No, you're not giving your subconscious enough credit. Your subconscious is super smart. It is super, 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 super smart. It's not limited by the conscious mind. Okay? It's infinite intelligence. When you put an order in at a restaurant, they're not going to forget your food. You only have to put it in one time and they know what you want. Now, you thinking that the your subconscious is going to forget is you thinking from lack. That's you being anxious that it's not going to happen. Um, I want you guys to read this book, The Power. I think it's reflected. The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. This is such an amazing book. If this book, if this book was $50, I would pay for it. I only paid 17 at Barnes and Nobles, but I highly recommend this book because it's really amazing and it's like it teaches you more about states. And I really like it. I read this book in like 4 days. Yes, I recommend this book. Um, let me answer one more before I go. I don't know. Okay, I'm not gonna answer any other questions. I'm just gonna talk more about how I manifest through states. So for me, I'm someone where like I guess you can call me like a lazy manifester. I hate doing so much when it comes to manifesting. I don't know. I just all like when I first started, everyone was like, script here, affirm this all day, do this many affirmations, and visualize this for this much time. Like for me, that was getting so tiring. That was so tiring, and like quite frankly, I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it. I was like, I enjoy doing the bare minimum and getting the most. Is anyone else like that? I don't like doing all these other techniques because it feels very forceful. It feels very like I'm doing something to get something. But now that I understand manifesting, it's like I understand that that's not what you're doing. You're manifesting or using these techniques or using these methods to remind yourself of what you already have. And for me, I found the most success with states because all I have to do with states is embody the person who has the end result, and it would happen. That's it. That's all you have. That's literally the only criteria. When I first started getting into states, I would make like a little list, right? Let's say I was manifesting, I don't know. Let's say I was manifesting a new job. I would make, I would title the page new job, and I would put number one. If I had my new job, what is something I would be doing already daily? For one, on number one, it would be no worrying. That'd be my number one thing. There'd be no worrying whatsoever because you have it. You have the job already. What is there to worry about? And number two would probably be like something like visualize when you want. Because when you have a job, you still think about that job, right? So visualizing here and there wasn't too much of an effort. I could do that. And then three would probably be like just enjoy your rest of the day. That's it. Enjoy the rest of your day. Because if something is yours, you're not worrying about it. This phone is mine. This iPhone 14 is mine, and I'm not worrying about it. I may think about it here and there, right? It's very natural. I may think about it, but at no point in time throughout my day am I worrying, where is my phone? No, because it's right here. My phone is right here. And that's literally all you do for every single desire. And it 100% is so much more easier than affirming all day, visualizing all day, setting timers, counter app, all this, that, all these other methods. It was getting confusing. It was getting and feeling like work, and it was getting confusing. So for me, once I understood states, I'm like, wait, this is like so much easier. Now I understand that not everyone can get there like instantly. However, this is why other people have access to affirming, visualizing, other methods and technique to build yourself up to getting to states. Everything else works. However, for me, it wasn't sustainable. Yeah, I'm such like a dude. I don't even talk to my friends that are not like into manifesting. I don't talk to them about it because they're like, okay, you must did like who did you rob? When I told my friend who was a forex trader that I made $20,000, he was like, nah, no, I don't believe it whatsoever. That's not true. People just, I don't know. And I think the more I get an understanding about the law, the less I want to associate myself with people who don't have that mentality, only because their conversations are heavily centered around lack, around not having something, around um, complaining, around, just living as if life is not working from what they're assuming. Literally, I went to Orlando to visit a friend, and I hate to be that person that's like told you so when it comes to manifesting because that's honestly not my intention. But when people cannot stop talking about how, like, oh, like something like Forex, it's very logical. You have a chart that, depending on the evidence that's on the chart, it tells you if you buy or sell whatever. I'm not a Forex trader, so I don't really know the lingo. I'm just telling you what I did. So I told my friend, I was like, I don't really know anything about Forex, but I bet you I can make this go however you want. And then she was like, okay, cool, let's do it. So I told her that one of the whatever it is that she was doing was going to sell, and she was going to make money. And based off of the graph that she was looking at, um, it would have not went that way. And I was like, well, manifesting is not logical, so I'm gonna not pay attention to what the graph is saying, and I'm going to do what I am gonna do, and you are going to make money. So I literally just saw a visualization of her making money from Forex despite of what the graph was showing, and she made $700. And like her husband was kind of like in disbelief, kind of like, oh, that's just coincidence. And I'm like, okay, I know nothing about Forex, but I literally just told you how this was gonna go, and it did. So I should really be prepping for my meeting, but they haven't called me yet. So I accidentally said I don't believe in working hard once and forgot people would judge me. That's me all the time in my friend groups. The people who don't know about manifesting. I had a friend the other day, like, they told me, how do you have so much money but you don't work? I'm like, well, I do work, just not hard. My birthday is August 16th. Did you make 20K from out of the blue? It was through like an investment. Did I know it was gonna come from that investment? No. I was led to make that investment randomly, and that's how the money came. What do you think I should do if you manifest something on a time crunch and it is not working? Like, I need a parking place on a special place because of an appointment and I don't get it here. I can't persist. It's all about the beliefs that you're holding. So if something's not happening or something's not happening as fast as you want, it's because you're still holding a belief of something that is blocking the outcome. I always tell people, if you haven't gotten a good grasp of manifesting normally, I would not suggest doing anything on a time crunch with manifesting because that's just going to give you more resistance. Can you make a story time success video? Sure. Yes, you either sell or buy to make, yeah. Yeah, I was like telling my friend, just tell me how much you want to make, and like I'll just visualize it. Do you like your occupation? Is it your passion? Have you found your passion? I'm asking because I do. I do like helping people manifest. I like helping people recognize their power. I love everything manifestation. I can like literally talk about this all day. I'm manifesting an SP, but my old SP is saying everything I am intending for the new one. Does that mean I'm going? Yes, that's typically birds before land. So not too long from now, you'll start hearing all that from your target SP. How do you take money off the pedestal when it gets you everything material? I would love to just receive it out of the blue. I know I'm not here to work hard at all. Yeah, I was in the same boat. For me, it was a knowledge that my mind creates everything. So I slowly started to work on unlearning a lot of the things I was taught growing up, and a combination of just practicing the law every single day on stuff that I don't care about. And then I soon realized that your subconscious honestly doesn't care if something is quote unquote too big or too small. It's literally all the same. Um, I think the more I built my confidence with manifesting, that's when I was able to manifest money a lot easier. Do you care if you have friends that believe in manifestation or not? Yes and no. I mean, I still have friends who don't like like follow manifestation at all. But those typically are people who don't like, I won't hear them complain. I won't hear them like talk about negative circumstances all day, all the time, which is why it's fine that I can still be around them and be their friends. But people who just like dwell in like negative circumstances or are always in drama or are always having negative hardships in their life, it's just like, yeah, I'm not, it's not likely that me and those type of people will be friends for long term. Just because I just want to surround myself with people who are very like minded. Okay, guys, I will answer one more. In my country, many people believe in divinity, occults, and stuff like that. They don't really believe they are responsible for their own reality. hmm Just like um, my culture too. They believe that it's a god that is creating your destiny and your life is predetermined, and um, you shouldn't have a lot of things because that makes you greedy or that makes you not a good person. A bunch of BS, honestly. When did you recognize if you could actually manifest things into your life and you had the power to control that? The more I started manifesting things I didn't really care about. I think I said this so many times already, but I manifested 25 random things, very specific things, 25 times. And then on the 25th time, I was like, oh, I'm doing all this. So why am I doubting the law whatsoever? And a combination of that and more information on the law is what really helped me. But anyways, guys, I really have to go to this meeting. I don't want to go, but I've already rescheduled like twice already. So I hope you guys enjoyed spending time with me. I might make a video Friday, so stay tuned. Also, if you guys want coaching, please reach out to me. I have open spots. Contact me at conjuredrealm@gmail.com. I have availability. We have email coaching. I have phone coaching. And I have times open for whatever time is convenient for you. So please take advantage. All right, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. Persist. Don't get validation from the 3D. You have what you want. All right, guys.